welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are having an amazing day. Today I thought that I would do a reading from one of my books for you. The book I've chosen is Starstruck, which is one of my self-published books. Now, Starstruck is about newly divorced Kate. Kate has a house in the country and attached to it are a couple of barns which she rents out. One day, an old school friend turns up completely out of the blue, asking if he can stay because he needs to keep out of the way of the paparazzi. Her old school friend is Joseph Wilde, a world-famous rock star, which makes things a little bit more complicated. Now, at this point in the story, Joseph is really wanting to help out a bit around the house, but he's been told that he can't throw money at the situation because that will make Kate feel bad. So he decides that he's going to try and do some do-it-yourself. Oh, you also need to know that Kate has a little boy called Charlie. He's 5. Kate returned home with Charlie and her shopping at 4. They carried the bags into the kitchen and were greeted not by the usual silence of an empty house, but by Joe's frantic calls for help from upstairs. Rushing up to the landing, she found him, wet and mud-covered, firmly wedged in the tiny opening at the top of the small bathroom sash window she habitually left a little down. "Do you know where the stopcock is?" he said breathlessly. "Of course I do, but what on earth are you doing? Don't move," Kate replied, trying to wiggle the jammed sash down. "I'm okay, it's a bit looser now. Go and turn the stopcock off, quickly." Kate ran off downstairs and into the kitchen. Pulling a small mountain of dusters and bottles of cleaning fluid out from the cupboard under her sink, she found the stopcock and turned it clockwise. When she emerged, she heard Joe shout out, "That's done it!" Grabbing her tool bag from the utility room, she raced back up the stairs, followed of course by Charlie, determined not to miss out on a second of the excitement. Joe had managed to free himself, at least onto the outside windowsill. It took her a matter of moments to work the old sash low enough for him to climb through, and he finally stopped prevaricating and properly answered her increasingly irate questions. "Look, it's better if I show you," he said sheepishly. "Come and see the garden." Kate followed Joe outside, where she discovered her wild but beautiful country garden had been transformed into something resembling the Somme. The tree she had wanted cut down was indeed down. It was on, or should that be through, she thought, what remained of her shed and glass house. The lawn was now nothing but a muddy bog, and the fence along one side seemed to have collapsed in on itself. Inexplicably, random holes dotted the waterlogged expanse. "What did you do?" gasped Kate, taking in the full extent of the wreckage. "You said you didn't want me paying anyone to do the garden, but I knew how much you needed the work done, so I thought I could do it for you. But it turns out landscape gardening isn't really my forte," Joe explained, trailing off. Charlie had found a huge mound of, mud, for want of a better word, and was having a lovely time jumping in it. "This is brilliant," he cried happily. "Oh, Charlie, you're covered in dirt," exclaimed Kate, turning her attention to her son. "Your school uniform." "Sorry, Mum," Charlie said, looking as shamefaced as Joe. Sensing Kate's focus was returning to him, and he was about to hear in full her thoughts on the job he'd done, Joe quickly interjected, "I tried to take the tree down for you, but it fell the wrong way and landed—" "Well, you can see where it landed. And when the shed collapsed, the tap by it must have been damaged. Water just started gushing out everywhere. I googled what to do, but I didn't have a key to the house to get to the stopcock. I thought there might be another on-off valve on the pipe somewhere, you know, where it went into the house, but I couldn't find where it went in." He pointed towards one of the holes. "I tried following the pipe back from the shed, but it's buried pretty deep. Digging a trench was taking me forever, so I thought I'd jump along it, picking out its path with my holes, but I kept losing it." His voice momentarily pittered off under Kate's accusatory glare before continuing, "Then I saw the bathroom window was open a bit. There's that soil pipe coming down the wall under it, and it's right next to that big shrub thing, so I tried to climb in. I got up here okay," he said defensively, "but I couldn't get the window open very wide and, I got stuck. And that's when you came home. Look, don't worry about any of it. I'm really, really sorry. I'll make it right. I'll fix it." "I think that would be a good idea. But it might be sensible for me to call in some professionals to help, don't you think?" "Yes, I do," replied Kate stonily. Why don't you go back inside and have a nice cup of tea? There's bound to be some water left in the kettle, suggested Joe. Charlie might as well stay out here and play. It's not like he can get much muddier. Fine, Kate said, eyeing her filthy son with exasperation before walking back to the house. But don't let him go anywhere near the broken glass. And maybe close the kitchen blinds, Joe called after her. I hope that you enjoyed that. Starstruck is available from Amazon as both paperback and ebook. Okay, well, thank you very, very much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please push the like button and consider subscribing for loads more author news. Bye.